How's that feel, George? How's that feel? I'm giving George a little haircut. You know, every once in a while we need a haircut, and this is for George. He needs a little trim once in a while. Otherwise, he just looks a little bit better, a little cleaner when we do a little whittling. You know, like this. Look at this foot. Look at this foot is very strange. This foot's a little bit better, but we need to get something going here with your feet, George. Well, keep working on your feet, George. I think we're going to make some nice shoes, some nice boots for you, I think. Anyway, George, would you stand right here and watch the lesson? Oh, George is happy now. George is happy because he's got a little trim. He had a haircut. We'll put this away, George. This for George. It's kind of like a massage, you know. It's a little bit like a massage or something that George, like most people, would like a little massage here on their shoulders. George likes to have a trim. So, George, we're happy that you're here. Hello, beautiful children of China. It's your teacher, Timothy. Get the cobwebs out of your mind because it's time to learn something new. Just me and you. Got it? So, let's try to light this candle. I'm sitting outside, and maybe the wind will blow it out, maybe it won't, but this will start our lesson, ladies and gentlemen. I do like fire. Remember that, remember that lighting a match is dangerous. Fire can be dangerous. It's also beautiful. So talk to your mom or your dad or your grandma or your grandpa or your neighbor, some adult, before you would light. We're okay. We're okay. We're okay. No panic. Oh, come on. Come on, match. Come on, match. Oh, yes. Good. It's still going. We'll see how long this lasts. You know, the wind might blow it out, but we'll get it started here. This is slow. Oh, good. Good, 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 good. We have ourselves a candle lit. We like these candles, and if the wind blows it out, okay, so be it. Well, as you know, I live in the United States of America, and you live in China. And the United States has states, right? The United States. That means there are many states. I live in Minnesota, and Minnesota is this shape right here. Do you see that? Do you see that? That's the shape of Minnesota. And do you see the word on there? Can you say the word? Home. H-O-M-E. Home. And that is my home. Home is where you live. In China, you live in China, that's your home, but there's also a province in China and probably a little city or a town or an area in that province that you call home. And actually in that little town is your house, and that's really your home. This right here, George, this is our home right here, right? This is where I keep my hats and my candles, various things. So we are here at home, and I'm wearing my Minnesota home hat today. George is wearing his lumberjack hat today. So we're going to get into talking about narrative writing today. Narrative writing, that is a big technical word. If you can say the word narrative writing, say it with me. Narrative writing, one more time. Narrative writing, which you can see right here. I'm going to make my picture smaller. George, help me. Come on, right? Ooh, there we go. Much smaller. We're gonna talk about narrative writing, and we're gonna even circle that word right there. It's a long word. Narrative writing. To narrate something means to tell the story with your mouth, to tell the story with words, to narrate a story. Narrative writing is a story, in this case, about your life, about my life, about George. George could tell you a story about his life, right? That's narrative writing. So we're going to talk about narrative writing today. You are actually going to do a little bit of your own narrative writing, telling a story on your own using the word I. using the word I. I love the word I. Do you know why? Because it's only one letter. It's really fun because it's only one freaking letter. Look, there it is. There it is. I. And I'm going to stand up right now. I. Do you see this shape right here? Do you see this shape right here? Look at George. I. Do you see the shape of George right there? It's a very straight letter. It stands whoop, just like George. George, stand there for us. I. Say it. Whoop. I. Look at, do you see how this is standing so tall? Do you see how it's standing so tall? It is fun to see that this one is also standing very tall. I, right? And it's spelled with a big capital letter I, just like that. That means I. When I talk about myself, Timothy, I am talking to you, right? I am giving George a little bit of a haircut. I am. That's my story today, my narrative story. And you're going to be able to say I, and you'll be talking about you when you talk about yourself, right? I. So in narrative writing, we use the word I. We'll talk about this later too, but when you say the word I, it's always capitalized. It is never, ever, ever do you write the word I like this. Never do you write it. Never. Don't even look at that. Do not even look at that. We got to get rid of that. We cannot look at that. No. We're going to get rid of that. It's always the capital letter, the tall letter, letter I. I am talking with you. I am looking at nature. I am seeing the basketball hoop. I am smelling that beautiful beeswax candle. And you're going to have some narrative writing today where you talk about the word and use the word I. Okay, so let's read through this together. We're going to have fun. I'm going to keep wearing my home hat. George is here with us, and it will be done before we even know it. Let's read this. If you'd like to read with me out loud, that would be great. Okay? I think I'm going to get like this. I'm going to get close because I am wanting to snuggle in right here close here. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay, here we go. Let's read it. In narrative writing, you share a story about something that really happened. In narrative writing, you share a story about something that really happened. You don't make it up. It's not about blue unicorns. No, you share something that really happened. Unless something really did happen with blue unicorns, but you don't make it up. It really did happen. And then let's read the next sentence. It can be about you or someone else. In this chapter, you will learn how to write about a special time. A special time. Look, these kids in this picture are writing about my family, or I like school, or a cat, or my friend, right? So let's read this one. Literature connections. Literature is a fancy name for books and words. Literature connections. Connections means two things that get together and connect. Let's read this. You can find an example of narrative writing in, and here is a name of a book, Our Sled Club by Beatrice Wolf. So if you have that book, sometimes some of you have that book, Our Sled Club by Beatrice Wolf, the author Beatrice Wolf, and that's an example of a narrative writing style, okay? So here we go. We're going to talk about narrative writing. Narrative startup. That means how do we ever start? How do we ever start with this kind of writing? Well, let's see. In a personal narrative, that means my own story, you write a story about something you did, okay? Good. So now let's get an example. Kim writes about a special time. Kim remembers a day with her grandma. She writes a first sentence about it. So she writes something. Kim remembers something with her grandma, so she writes. And let's go a little further into how Kim is thinking. Here are 2 points to remember when you write a personal narrative. Number 1, numero uno, number 1. Right here, let's read it. You remember one special time and what you did. You remember one special time and what you did. Number 2, you use the word I. Get it? You use the word I to write about yourself. Cool. It's fun to write with the word I think. Let's keep going. Look at right here. This is probably Kim over here, and she's thinking like this. I'm going to think with her right now. Just like Kim, she's looking up, thinking of a story about her grandma, her grandma. Narrative startup, that means how do we ever start? Well, she thought of something and she wrote one line. Let's read what she wrote. Here's what Kim wrote. One day, I had lunch with grandma. Oh, well, that's a great sentence. One day, I had lunch with grandma. Kim said that. So now, I want you over down there at home in China. I want you to think of a story about you. And you can think for a moment like Kim did, and then I want you to tell somebody what your story is about. Like Kim said, one day I had lunch with grandma. I want you to think of a real story. I want you to pause this video now, think of a real story, and tell your partner, tell somebody in the room about it. Maybe you have 5 people there and you each have to find a partner and the 2 of you tell each other your story. Maybe you have 1. Maybe you call your mom in or your dad into the room and tell them. Okay? So I can pause it right now. Go. We are back. And you have told your partner a part of an idea of something that really happened to you. So that's what we did right here. Talk about it. Tell a partner about one special time that you remember. We did it. You did it. Here is a narrative paragraph. I'm going to make this small again. And Kim wrote more sentences about the special time with her grandma. She wrote more sentences. Then she put her sentences together to form a paragraph. Remember, a paragraph is more sentences that talk about one thing. So Kim must be talking in this paragraph. We'll get to read it now. More about what happened with her grandma. Let's read what Kim wrote to make her paragraph. Here's a whole paragraph right here. Wow. Well, first of all, she gave it a name. She gave her paragraph a name. And the name is right here. Can you read it? Woo! Noodles. Noodles is the name of her paragraph. She must have had done something with noodles with her grandma. Let's read it. Oh, first of all, I'm going to try to move this down. That doesn't work. There we go. There we go. Noodles. One day, I had lunch with grandma. That we already know that part. Now she said, we made noodles. They made noodles. I put some noodles in the soup. Then I ate them. I like cooking with grandma. Now there is a paragraph. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sentences. Do you see these little marks here? These little marks here are the end of a sentence. And here's another one. Find the other ones, right? Find the other ones. Yep, you're right. Find the next one after that. Before I do, find it, find it. There it is. Good, good. And you find the last one? Those are the ends of the sentences. So we have 5 of those. We have 5 sentences. And this is Kim's narrative writing. She has a paragraph here. Remember, with a paragraph, you always put the first sentence in a little bit. It's called indenting. And the beginning of every paragraph has a capital letter, and the end has the period, like we talked about. The next sentence begins with a capital letter, and on and on. We'll talk more about that later, right? So, but anyway, this is Kim's paragraph, and it's off to a good start. I want to know more about what the heck is going on here with Kim. Narrative paragraph. Understand your writing goal. The 3 traits listed below will help you write a narrative paragraph. So now we're talking about how you can get help. Here, ideas. The first thing that helps you write a narrative paragraph is having an idea. Right there, boo! Choose one special time to write about. Did you choose it? You already told somebody about a special time. And then the next one is organization. Use time order words to help organize it. And then finally, conventions is this long word here. Follow the writing rules. And we'll talk a little bit about writing rules and time order words. Let's keep going here. Let's keep going. These are different ways of helping. Talk about it. What one special time does Kim share? Well, we know she shares her time about her grandma. Find one writing rule that Kim follows. Well, there is a writing rule that Kim follows. Let's go back here. You just come with me. We're going to look at her paragraph. One rule that she follows. Can you find one? Point to it right now. I think you'll find one maybe that I don't even know. I don't even know the one you might point to. You know a few writing rules. Well, the one that I know is the one I already explained, that she, Kim, is very smart. And so every time at the beginning of every sentence, she capitalized the first letter of every sentence. How do you find the first letter of every sentence? You find that because it's the first word after a period right here. Here's a period. And all of these are capitalized, aren't they? And there are a few other capitalized letters that we'll talk about later, but that is one that she used. That is one of the writing rules she used, right? Here, pre-write. So here we're still talking about choosing your topic. When you pre-write, you plan your writing and you get started. So choose a topic. Here is what Miguel does to choose his topic. So here, let's just see what Miguel does to choose his. You might do this too, I don't know. First, think. Miguel thinks about some special times. Now, if Timothy, we're going to think about some special times, I would say just this weekend, I made some music with some friends. I played guitar, and it was a very, 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 very special time. And if I were going to write a narrative paragraph right now, if I were going to write a narrative, I think I would write about that. So that was special for me. What about you? Think of Miguel's thinking of a special time, and then he finishes some sentence starters to get ideas. And then Miguel chooses his favorite idea as his topic. So Miguel's sitting here thinking, here's Miguel, he's thinking, and he's wondering about different ideas. Here are some sentence starters to get ideas. Number one summer, what? Miguel says, I went to Texas. Number 2, one day, I lost Azul at school. One night, see, they give you this much, and then he wrote, I saw an owl. So those are all sentence starters. So let me ask you, one summer, and then what would you say? How about one day, what would you say? How about one night, what would you say? If I were going to do this, I would say one summer, I went sailing in a boat on the lake. One day, I saw the sun covered up by the moon. It was called an eclipse. One night, I had a dream, a beautiful dream. So those are the way I would answer that. Those are sentence starters. They help to get ideas. Choose your topic. Think of some special times, and then finish each sentence starter with an idea. Choose your topic and circle it. So I want you to do this. You can stop this now in just a second. And I want you to write this much. Number one summer. And then write number 2, one day. And number 3, one night. And then I want you to finish this with your own story of your own life. Finish each of these. You can stop it right now and do that. Go ahead. Okay, so you have some sentence starters about summer, about a day and a night. Maybe you'll start to write something. So now your job is to think of some special times, finish each sentence starter, which you did, and your topic. And then, do you see right here? Miguel chose that he wants to talk more about number 2. One day I lost Azul at school. So he chose one. I want you to choose one. I'm going to choose one, the one that I talked about when the sun was covered by the moon. That one is very interesting to me. So I'm going to choose that one. I'd like you to choose one of yours now from your life. One day I saw the sun covered by the moon. That was just 2 days ago here in the United States. So now we're going to move on to pre-write because you've chosen one of your topics. Gather your details. Gathering details about your topic is the next part of pre-writing. Details. Those are all the little pieces, the details of my story. When I was looking up to see, the details were that I had to have a special pair of glasses on to look at the sun. That was a detail. Those glasses were cool. Like, I could even show you a picture because this really happened, right? These are things that really happen. So I'm going to show you a picture of my daughter, or here's me. Here's a goofy picture of me with those glasses on. Can you see it? Can you see that? Do you see those weird glasses? Look at that. Those are strange glasses that I wore when I looked up at the sun. So that's a detail. I want you to gather some details. So the way that you gather details is, first of all, to draw a picture about your story. Oh, my candle went out. It's okay. Draw a story about your narrative. Draw it. Miguel draws pictures on a story map. And then write words that tell who, what, and where. For me, it would be me and my wife, Carrie, and our children. That's who. What? The eclipse of the sun. And where? In Wisconsin. So I answered those questions. I'd like you to answer the questions who, what, and where, and then Miguel tells his story to a partner. So please stop the video right now and draw some pictures. A story map looks something like this. A story, I'll show you down here. The story map looks like this. Look, the 4 different things. You might have 4 pictures, and you might not, but you can draw a few pictures from your story. And then I want you to write the words, who was there, who, what happened, and where. Where did it happen, okay? And then I want you to tell your story to a partner. Stop it now and go. We are back. We are back. Miguel's story map is here. He talks about a backpack. Number 2, he talks about Azul. He lost at school. That must have been a lizard, huh? And then he looked for Azul, and it was on the teacher's desk. So that's an interesting story. So gather yours. You've already done this. Draw, write, and tell your story to a partner, right? And then here's a reminder about capital letters. It's so very important when we're writing. When do you use capital letters? That means the big letters. You always use them at the beginning of a sentence right here. Do you see that red one? Right there. After a period. You also hear I is always capital. It's always standing up very tall. I is always standing So always capitalize I. Don't ever use that little one, remember? So those are the two things we're going to talk about, capitalizing letters. Also, there are more. Capital letters are used for names of people, like this one, Rosa Parks. My name's Timothy. You would use a capital T at the beginning of Timothy, or the name of a state or a province in China, or the country of China, or United States of America. All of those are capitalized, those words. It's also capitalized if it's a title, right? Dr. Seuss, Mrs. Cooper, Mrs. Lim, Mr. Ford. Sometimes people call me Mr. Timothy, and that's capitalized too. And I could go to my neighbor, and over there is Mrs. Bartholomew. And Mrs. Bartholomew, we would capitalize M for Mrs. and B for Bartholomew. So capital letters also for book titles. I love the book called A River Runs Through It. Well, all of those words are capitalized if it's a book title. And a capital letter for holidays, New Year's Day, Thanksgiving in America, Labor Day in America, Flag Day in America. What holidays do you have in China? Independence Day, something like that. You have many holidays that you would capitalize the names of those days. So those are important for when you're writing. All of those capitalized, those are to keep reminding about what you capitalize. Let's read this together. You can show your classmates a special treasure. You can tell them about a pretty shell, an unusual coin, or a shiny rock. And here are some rules that you can follow when you talk to your classmates. Speaking to others. So this is when you're talking to them. Look at your classmates. Look right at them, okay, when you're talking. Don't go like this. Well, I was kind of wondering about the... No, you got to look right at them. Speak loudly and slowly. Don't be afraid of leaving a little bit of space between your words. Don't be afraid of that. Speak slowly and clearly, loudly. Show what you have. You can show something that you may have brought for your story. You could bring and show something and share important ideas. The important ideas, share those. You'll identify what they are. And when you have something to share, hold it up so that everyone can see it. So now today we're at the end of our lesson, and we have learned how to do some narrative writing. We've learned how to create a paragraph and expand from a great little idea, a story, into who and what and where, and how to write about it. Like those noodles, right? Or Miguel's story about losing Azul at school. Can you hear the rhyme, Azul at school? That sounds good together, huh? Well, anyway, we've come to the end of our time. Our candle has already gone out. George, would you like to say goodbye? Goodbye. He says goodbye. George doesn't speak very loudly, but I can hear him. Do you want me to say something? Huh. George says that he loves you and that he's happy that you got to do this lesson together. George, should we say goodbye? Goodbye, my friends. This is Timothy signing off. Thank you for a good lesson. Now, I'm happier, you're smarter, and the whole world is a little bit smaller. Bye-bye.